this afternoon. But I just want to make a few things clear. One, Thomas Schoenberger can blow smoke up my ass all he wants. I don't trust him any more than I trust Brian Word. I think this band of child traffickers all eat their own. And I'm just encouraging the feeding frenzy. I believe that they're all involved with it. Corey Daniel. There's no fucking way I'm working with Lestat. Lestat is directly connected to Doug Mesner, aka Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple, the one who has gone out of his way to murder victims of this. He goes to Neil Brick's Smart Conference, and he gets his little minions to find out who they are, and he eliminates anyone they find out think is a target. That's how this works. This group eats their own. The dude who said the enemy of my enemy is my friend got beheaded by his own friends. That's how that works. And I'm not looking, or do I need, any validation from any of you. I don't give a shit if you think I'm smart. I don't give a shit if you think I'm a good guy. I don't give a shit. I'm not looking for validation for you. And why? Because I learned as a child that I was never going to get. I never needed the validation of people. I grew up in a town of 500 people in small town northern Iowa. And when I was a kid, I was an effeminate gay guy. That town made my life a living fucking hell. I could never get validated from any of those. That's why I never gave a shit about popularity. Never cared. I don't need I don't need you to validate who I am or what I think or if I'm smart, or I don't need any of that. I don't. And I'm not looking for any of that because I don't care about it. I think this whole group is involved with child trafficking. Gabe Hoffman. Let me just go through the fucking list again, shall I? Mike Aquino, Gabe Hoffman, Thomas Schoenberger, this Brian Word, Johnny Dubb, who I believe is Lucian Greaves, who's been heavily involved. Doug hasn't gone anywhere. Doug just doesn't want to deal with me head on because he's already begged me twice, offering me any amount of money I wanted if I would just stop. He doesn't like to play with me because I'm tenacious and I don't stop. And then you have all of Sewertown, Corey Daniel, Alicia Ray, Tara Joyce, Daniel Dowd, Gio Farnsworth, Jesse Davis, obviously Jesse Davis's wife, Manuel Chavez, which is DeFango, Craig Sawyer. They're all in it, and they're all going to throw each other under the bus. And you can compliment me and blow smoke up my ass all you want. Nothing on my part has changed. I don't trust you. And I don't have any reason to trust you. Just because you give me some nice compliments and, oh, I don't think that David is as smart. It is to my advantage that every one of you idiots underestimate me. It's to my advantage. Just saying. And you always do. Always have. Doug Mesner, aka Lucian Greaves, is using that satanic temple after school daycare to target the kids. Nothing has changed. Just because I'm focusing on Sewertown right now, they're just one aspect. There's several aspects to all of this. It's not like they all work together. So you work at a company. Does that mean you know every single person that works at that company? You're you know, because this is a large group. So you know everybody you work with intimately? Maybe if you're a small group, but say Union Pacific. I'll just use that because that's what my grandmother Shurter worked at. Union. So everybody who works at Union Pacific knows everyone else. You know, it doesn't work that way. And to try and present it that way is ridiculous. This, I am not for any of these idiots. I'm not working with Daniel, Corey Daniel, obviously. I'm not working with Nathan Stoltman, who Corey Daniel brags he controls. I'm sure as hell not working with that idiot Lestat. Because Lestat is working directly with Doug Mesner, aka Lucian Greaves, as is Brett Trimble, as is Gabe Hoffman. I knew these people. I didn't get involved with this because I met Isaac and he inspired me. I was way older than Isaac and had been at this for decades. Before Isaac even showed up, I was at this for a long time before that. A long time before that. Nothing has changed as far as I'm concerned. It's just Sewertown needed to be exposed. I exposed them. But nothing has changed, on my opinion, with Thomas. Certainly nothing has changed with Johnny Dubb, aka Brian Word. Nothing has changed. Those dickheads made my life a living hell with their little friend, that Australian dude, Chris Mackenzie Jones, who may or may not be having sex with that John dude from Australia. I don't know. They all seem to be closet cases. But I'm not looking for validation from this group. Do you know the difference between me and the popular people I grew up with in that small town? They're still reliving high school, and we're all about 59 years old now. They're still reliving high school. I haven't been in high school for decades. Don't even really think about it. Certainly not reliving it. This, when it comes down to this child trafficking, there's only two sides that I care about. The children's side and heaven's side. And this child trafficking BS is an abomination. It needs to be investigated, they need to be arrested, and they need to be stopped. But on a side note, in my town, since I know he watches these, Neil, I hear that you're not wanting to do any interviews about Mike Butler. You don't want to go online. You don't want to be interviewed about Mike Butler at all. I found that out. People are saying, oh, no, he doesn't want to be on camera talking about Mike Butler. Is that because Mike Butler was running your meth? And you're afraid they're going to ask you if you're involved with the meth operation and he was running your meth? Because the answer is yes. The answer is yes. When it comes to underestimating me, Neil Gross rates right up at the top of the list. Totally underestimated me, thought I couldn't do shit. Now he's starting to realize that may not necessarily be true. I think they're all starting to realize that. But Lestat is part of Doug Mesner. Doug Mesner is Lucian Greaves. Doug Mesner is the second person who got a protection order out on me. Yes, they were different petitioners. They were ass wipes that lived across the street that were making my life a living hell. Same kind of thing I'm going through here with my two neighbors on each side of me. Same situation. How I know that it was Doug is the 15 plus videos that were listed on that protection order had nothing to do with the petitioners. I didn't even mention them. Not once in all 15 videos. They only and solely dealt with Doug Mesner. And Doug, you can offer me as much money as you want. I'm going to claim your ass and I'm going to make you suffer it on the other side. That's all I give a shit about. That is my objective in all of this, is get you all to be claimed in the dark, where you will finally face accountability. Because it ain't going to happen on this side. You underestimate people because most people are dumbasses. They're connected to their own wants, their own desires, and they could not give a shit less about anything that doesn't revolve around them. Let, they don't believe that the sun revolves around the earth. They believe the sun revolves around them. Each one of them. I'm not looking for validation. I'm going to bring this child trafficking operation to its knees. And the only way to do that is to expose every single one of you. In the end, like I've said, you will face what those children faced. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. No one is coming to save you, and you can't save yourselves. And what's about ready to embrace you, what has already embraced you, is worse than you can even conceptualize at this point. And you evil assholes can conceptualize a lot of evil. And you don't even compare to what's about ready to take you over. Babe, I just wanted to say that this morning while I was thinking about it. I have things that I have to do. It is Thursday, so I will probably do another live, but I'm thinking I'm going to do it later on. Later on. Around 5 o'clock. That way people have time to digest what I've been saying. But save your energy, because blowing smoke up my ass, even though I'm gay, I've never wanted it up the ass. Not into that. No fingers, no tongues, certainly nothing else. Unlike Corey Daniel, obviously, and Daniel Dowd, dude. If you're going to be in the closet, maybe you should take that big pink neon sign that flashes "I'm gay" away from the top of your closet, because you ain't hiding anything, lubber. You're all screwed. And I'm not going to stop. And save your bullshit. I don't give a fuck if you like me. I don't give a damn if you care what I'm saying. If you agree, if you don't agree. I'm simply here to expose you. And I can already tell that the feeding frenzy it has already begun. You're all throwing each other under the bus. And you're so paranoid that you don't know who's doing it. Not realizing all of heaven is conspired against your group. All of heaven is conspired against your group. So if you each, as individuals, can beat heaven on your own, you have nothing to worry about. But if you can't, you're screwed. And let me assure you, the latter is true. You guys don't have a chance. Oh, and by the way, my house is completely paid for. And I already found out yesterday, I have nothing to worry about. So, Tara Joyce isn't going to be taking over my house anytime too soon. Sorry, Corey, but once again, your little spells and your little sorcery shit failed. Just saying. Sorry, Tara. You're stuck in your shithole little apartment for the rest of your life. Until you die. Most likely alone.